Hello! Hi everyone! Welcome to Guiding Voice podcast series, The Guiding Voice for a Better Future. This podcast is to help students and young professionals to shape their careers. Thank you for tuning in. This is Naveen and I'm with my co-host Sudhakar. And we are pleased to welcome back Rohit to our show today to discuss another important topic, neural networks. And it is closely related to artificial intelligence.
Rohit Gupta is a technical trainer who holds a master's degree in informatics from the University of Delhi. He has his bachelor's degree in electronic science from the University of Delhi. Rohit is a C# corner most valuable professional, author and speaker.
Rohit is deeply interested in the field of artificial intelligence, machine learning and Python.
His aim is to make world's first human-like humanoid. Rohit believes in the statement, bonding between machines and humans will make this world a much better place. And we are pleased to welcome Rohit to our show today.
Thank you, Naveen and Sudhakar, for having me again on the podcast. You guys are doing a fantastic job. I have been listening to your podcast and the topics are excellent and adding value to the community of students and young professionals. Wish you great success on your journey and I'm very glad to be part of it.
Thank you for those encouraging words, Rohit. Support from well-wishers and patrons like you is helping us to continue this journey. Let me start with the basics. What exactly do we mean by neural networks?
This is the first and foremost question that covers a wide variety of concepts. Neural word originates from neuron. You know that in the brain we have neurons, which is the basic building block of our brain. And network means the interconnection of nodes such that the data can be passed from one point to another based on some predefined logic or mathematical equation, you can say. So in simple terms, I would say a neural network is a interconnected combination of neurons that are used to transfer information.
Okay.
Let me explain the basics of neural network through a simple example. Suppose you were to choose one ball from a bag of 255 balls. Given all balls are of different colors. So we have 255 options. So what my brain will do is to try to find what is my favorite color and pick and choose my favorite color ball. So what process my brain follows? First, the brain searched for neuron which will tell my favorite color, and then my eyes sent a signal to the corresponding neuron to tell whether my favorite color is in the box or not. And then at the last, brain searches for the neuron required to move my hand to pick up the ball. A similar process followed inside a neural network.
That's a great example, Rohit. It really helps in having better understanding of neural networks. There is another word that we are hearing, which is artificial neural networks or ANN. How does ANN work?
Artificial means something which we do not get from nature or which is a replica recreated by humans of the actual real thing. So an ANN or artificial neural network is a replica of our brain neurons. Here, a neuron is a computational unit that calculates a piece of information based on the weighted input parameters. Inputs accepted by the neurons are separately weighted or have different importance. To understand this, let us take the same ball example. My favorite color will have the biggest weight assigned, or you can say have the most importance. Inputs are summed and passed through a nonlinear function to produce output. Each layer of neuron detects some additional information, such as edges of a thing in a picture or tumors in a human brain. Multiple layers of neurons can be used to detect additional information about the input parameters. Each time data is passed through the network, the result is compared with the correct one and tweaks are made to their value until the network creates the correct final output each time. This process is called learning, which we can say is machine learning. ANN has the concept of hidden layers. Apart from the first layer, which is the input layer, and the last layer, which is the output layer, all the intermediate layers are called hidden layers. Hidden layers are mostly used for defining the business logic and carrying out fine-tuning and optimization of the model for neural networks.
Rohit, I love the analogy of picking the ball of your favorite color and all. So I think it is explained very well. We also come across different types of artificial neural networks. What are various types of artificial neural networks and how are they different from each other?
So ANN, it is broadly classified into two categories. One is the shallow neural network or SNN, and the second one is deep neural network or DNN. SNN has only one hidden layer and DNN has more than one hidden layer. Example of SNN I could think of are activation functions like ReLU or sigmoid and all the other activation functions. An example of DNN could be Google LeNet used for image recognition, which has 22 hidden layers. DNN is further divided into four types, that is the feed-forward network or FFN, recurrent neural network RNN, convolutional neural networks or CNN, and reinforcement learning. Let us now try to understand each type of DNN separately. In FFN, the information flows in only one direction, that is the forward. It means that the information starts at the input layer, goes to the hidden layer, and ends at the output layer, which means the type of the network does not have loops. RNN is a multi-layered neural network. RNN is a multi-layered neural network that can store information in context nodes, allowing it to learn data sequences and output a number of or another sequence. That is, it has loops. CNN is similar to RNN, with the difference that CNN is a feed-forward network. CNN are mostly used when we have unstructured data. CNN is a multi-layered neural network with a unique architecture designed to extract increasingly complex features of the data at each layer to determine the output. And the last one is reinforcement learning. It is a type of DNN which is based on popular reward and punishment method, where the model is rewarded when it outputs expected value and is penalized when it performs a mistake.
I think these are the four different neural networks which somebody has to be aware. And we also come across a term called bias, which is common in humans, right? For example, we talk about a student being called as a pet for a teacher, and so is the case with in the corporates also. Every boss has a pet employee kind of thing. So that is a kind of bias. So in general, what is the concept of bias in artificial neural networks and how can it be addressed?
So, very good example you gave to understand, but let's come on to the machine learning. So, in machine learning, bias is a phenomena where the model is biased or one-sided. That is, a model classifies both black and white as black. The phenomena we recently saw when a facial recognition model was biased towards the faces of black people. I would not take the name of the company, you can Google it out. The reason behind this is the faulty, poor, unbalanced or incomplete data, which results into assignments of uneven or wrong weights. That is, for example, when a particular item A constitutes more than 70% of the data, the model will learn the value, and hence item B, which constitutes 30% of the data, will be classified as item A. And to answer your question, how it can be addressed, as we say, prevention is better than cure. So we should properly check the data and normalize the data so that we don't land into the bias problem. There are various ways of normalizing the data, but I would be telling only 4 of them, which is the most commonly used. So first is the downsampling. Next is the upsampling. So the third point is try to generate more data to equal the number of data points for each class. And the last one is assign greater weight to an item that has less data points and low weights to an item which constitutes more percentage of data points.
Rohit, as these neural networks are still in the nascent stage compared to many other technologies that are existing in the world, I'm sure many of our students and young professionals would want to try this out. So what are some of the neural network project ideas that these students or young professionals can take up to learn more with their practical exposure?
So I will suggest some easy and some not that easy project. So first coming to the easy one, you can make a project that can be a possibility of team winning a IPL, credit card fraud possibility, predicting stock prices, handwriting recognition using the MNIST dataset, counting the number of people in a frame, identifying the possibility of a person to commit a crime. So now coming not so easy projects, classifying legal documents, predicting how successful a product will be. Or here you can also take it as how successful a predict will be. Controlling the computer point using the gaze estimation, predicting the emotion based on the given situation, handwriting recognition using the Unicode dataset, system to alarm if the number of people in the queue exceeds the threshold value.
Rohit, these easy and not so easy projects seem to be more like revenue generating opportunities as well. On the lighter note, predicting stock prices, winning IPL possibilities, these are the things which I'm sure you should be properly using these for legal and genuine reasons.
Yeah.
So, Rohit, moving on to the next component, more like a layman question, I would say. How is this ANN different from ML? That is, artificial neural networks different from machine learning?
While a machine learning model makes decisions according to what it has learned from the data, a neural network, on the other hand, arranges algorithm in a fashion that it can make accurate decisions by itself. Although machine learning models can learn from data, in the initial stages, they may require some human intervention. Neural networks are self-dependent, or in Hindi we say Atmanirbhar, in the case that it requires human intervention once in a blue moon. ML works efficiently on structured data. Neural networks work efficiently on both structured and unstructured data.
So can we say that neural networks are going to pick up steam and gather momentum in the next few years?
Yes, so ANN and neural networks type C are the future.
So Rohit, do you think it is better to learn neural network alongside with artificial intelligence, machine learning and data science?
More than 80% of the current world problems can be solved with the use of only ML models. But as you know, that ML models fall short when it comes to unstructured data. Unlike neural networks, which are proven to be efficient in case of handling unstructured data. And you know that, or you may have to know that more than 90% of the world's whole data is unstructured. So I would say in the current scenario, if one knows ML, it is enough. But you should start learning neural networks or deep learning as in the future, when we will be dealing with unstructured data only. You would be able to work with that only. I have also written an article on deep learning on C# Corner. Link is given in the description if you want to read.
That's quite interesting that many of the problems can be solved using ML, and I see bright prospects for neural networks. So how can someone start learning neural networks?
You can learn neural networks from the Coursera's famous NTU-NG course, the machine learning course. The beauty of the course is that although it is in MATLAB, covers both machine learning and deep learning. And in the description, you can find also the Python version of the assignments given in the course. For paid courses, I would recommend deeplearning.ai courses and Udacity's Deep Learning Nano Degree. You can also check the Stanford University website. They have some amazing neural network resources. So since everybody is on YouTube and social media, I'll be talking about those also. On YouTube, channels like 3 Blue 1 Brown, Sandex, Krish Nayak and NPTEL are worth subscribing. On social media, you can go for ml.india and neuralnet.ai. There are accounts that give you the basics of neural networks and some advanced resources. So you can go for that.
Rohit, in addition to these online channels and the options that are available from YouTube, can you recommend a couple of books for artificial neural networks?
If you are a complete beginner, so I would recommend you to first learn machine learning and data science and get your hand dirty. After that, go for packed and orally books on neural networks. And if you are a person with 1 or 2 years of experience, go for approaching almost any machine learning problem by Abhishek Thakur or artificial intelligence, a modern approach by Stuart J. Russell and Peter Norvig. There is one new course that Sandex has launched. It is for people of all backgrounds, that is neural network from scratch by Sandex. The USP of the book is that concepts are explained using animations, and all animations are available on YouTube for free.
Rohit, thank you so much for coming back to our show to talk to our The Guiding Voice audience. It was a great discussion on the concepts of neural networks, and I'm sure our audience are going to love the support, the guidance that you have provided, both from the social networking standpoint and also the books that they can follow. We really appreciate you taking time.
All right. So it brings us to the trivia segment of today's episode. And today's trivia is about iPhone. And the first iPhone presentation happened about 6 months before the iPhone was set to hit the market. At that time, the phone was too buggy to use. And Steve Jobs, the creator of iPhone, often had to switch phones behind his desk. So he used multiple phones in order to demonstrate that. Otherwise, it would run out of RAM and crash. So to avoid that problem, he had to use multiple phones. But now, we rarely come across any complaints related to iPhones. So that's how mature it is today. Interesting, isn't it? If you'd like to share any trivias, please feel free to share them through email. And our email address is theguidingvoiceforyou@gmail.com, or SMS us or text us at India number 9494587187. We will not only share best trivias in future episodes, we will also announce your names. Again, we are open for suggestions on topics that you would like to hear from us through our email address. Our email address is theguidingvoice4u@gmail.com. You may also WhatsApp us on our India number 9494587187. Like our page on Facebook, facebook.com/theguidingvoice4u, or follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/guidingvoice. To stay tuned about our future episodes. We are also available on Instagram as The Guiding Voice for You. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/theguidingvoice. There is more in store. Until next time, have a wonderful time. Thank you for listening. Take care and be safe.